Welcome to Lamb Living. My name is Holly Lamb, and I am participating in an open playlist called Ornaments with a Meaning, where we will donate ornaments that we make to the Ronald McDonald House near us. Galatians chapter 6 verse 2 says, "Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." Our host for the playlist today is Buffie from Buffie Designs. She gathered us all together and put this playlist together so that we can create and make ornaments for our local Ronald McDonald House. I don't have, my local hospital doesn't have a Ronald McDonald House, so I'll be sending the ornaments that I make to Natalie in Florida. Natalie is started all this, and she is the creator from Design to the Nines, and her channel and Buffy's channel are linked in my description box below. The theme for these Ronald McDonald House ornaments is candy. So I am making candy ornaments today with those beautiful colors. I'm using Easter eggs that I got last March, and they've been waiting in my stash there. And so these are plastic. I'm going to be cutting off the bottoms because I don't know if you saw the pictures there before I started, but we are making gumdrops, and with lots of pretty colors and lots of sprinkly glitter and all kinds of pretty things. Now, my box cutter was not working. These are plastic. Now, if I had paper mache eggs, they probably would have cut beautifully with that box cutter. But the glue gun, my Sure Bonder hot temp glue gun, really did the job here. So I'm just taking the edge of my glue gun all heated up. I would melt the plastic a little bit and then trim it. Melt the plastic and then trim it. And it made a nice bottom. Now it's not perfectly straight, but we can fix that, not a problem. There we go. We got the bottom off with lots of little bits. And then I took the cardboard from tissue boxes. I don't throw away anything around here. And so I cut up tissue boxes and keep them in a little box here in my craft room. And so it's all the cardboard that I need. I didn't need anything thick. And so I'm just going to tap that on there with some hot glue. And then I'm going to fill in, because it didn't cut perfectly even, and I'm just going to fill in those gaps with hot glue and kind of spread it out with my little spatula there that I got from the Dollar Tree in the Crafters Square. And there we go. All set to go. And so there I go. I'm going to do 3 of them in this video and trim just a little bit, so that when I paint over this, over the cardboard and over the plastic Easter egg, it will be as smooth as possible. So I'm just going to fill in those edges, smooth it out with my little spatula there, and they're all set. Just from things from my stash that I keep. I know all of you probably have Easter eggs floating around. All right, they're all set for painting. Now I'm just going to take some baking soda, and because it's not a real even seam there between the Easter egg and the cardboard, I'm going to mix in a little baking soda, and that's going to be my kind of spackle it all together, make it all nice and smooth. And turns out that yellow was super runny, so I had to put a couple of different spoonfuls of baking soda in the yellow. But I don't want it like a thick paste, but I do want it to be there. See, I had to put a little bit more in that yellow. It was still kind of runny, and I think I put even one more after that. But I have chalk paint here. I have that is maize from Waverly that I got at Walmart. And then the pink is Ballet Slipper, also Waverly. And then the green is avocado that I got from Target. And this is not a chalk paint. This is a matte acrylic paint made by Handmade Modern from Target. And but with the baking soda in there, it's a matte finish anyway, so it looks just like the chalk paint, and actually over that gold did a nice job. Now, if you had real bright colored Easter eggs, you might want to give it a base paint of white, but that gold was a good carrier for that, and they were all the same, so it just seemed to work. Now I'm going to take some ornament hangers that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to bend them to look like a little omega symbol there. And then I'm going to use my hot glue gun and make a hole right in the top so it'll hang on our tree with the flat side down, like a gumdrop sitting up. And I'm going to work that little, those little feet into the hole and hot glue. Of course, I'm holding it there because this is a hot temp glue gun, so it takes a few seconds for it to cool off enough to be hard and firm. And so I go ahead and do that for all three and get them ready for the moment. It's getting ready to happen. Wait for it. Yep, maybe a little more hot glue. Make sure it's firm. Yep. Oh, another little coat. I ended up coating them twice. And then a little touch up on the third coat. There we go. We had to get the bottoms. Because it's going to be hanging on a tree, I wanted it all completely painted, and then we're still waiting for the big moment, but we are going to cover this up before we do it. I'm not going to say. This is just some ribbon from Walmart. I'm sure I got this on a sale after Christmas. This was shoved into the bottom of my ribbons. I pulled it out. I wanted a little sparkle for Christmas, and that gives us a little foreshadowing to what's coming. Yes, I'm just going to wrap that all up so it's completely covered and beautifully sparkly. It's almost here. I can feel it. Here comes the Mod Podge, and there it is. Look at that container of glitter. Oh, I went to Hobby Lobby looking for glitter, and thank heaven it was on sale. So, you know, when you go to Hobby Lobby looking for something specific, you're apt to pay full price. But I lucked out, and this was the week that the glitter was half off, so I was so tickled. I got my big thing of glitter all ready for Christmas. There they are before I put them on the tree so you can see them nice. And then look at that pink. It's just popping on the tree right there in my piano room. That tree is flocked, so it's got a lot of off-white white with the snow. There's the yellow one. And then we're going to find, not the bird, there it is, that beautiful sagey green. Oh goodness, that is so sparkly and pretty. I love Christmas time when we can use glitter. All right, on to our next ornament. We have gumdrops, and now we're going to make some chocolate truffles. And so I use that. It's called Real Brown, and it's a gloss paint. I don't use a lot of gloss paint, but this one is perfect. Back during the Easter season, I got those little bunnies from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if you remember those. They were the DIY bunny. It came with a couple of little paints and a brush, and it was a little ceramic bunny. And I got a few of those and painted them this Real Brown apple barrel from Walmart gloss paint. And it looks just like chocolate when it's dry because it's still very glossy and yummy looking. And I had those little chocolate bunnies out for just as long as I could. At Easter time. They look so darling. And I was lucky enough to have these brown, kind of goldish brown ornaments in my stash. Of course, the Goodwill bins always comes through with Christmas ornaments. So if you're in the bins and you see Christmas ornaments, golly, they're just super useful for crafting even, you know, all around the year. All right, now, I didn't know quite what I wanted to do with the icing that I was going to put on our truffles. And so while I was at Hobby Lobby, I saw these. I thought I was going to just do, of course, there's the Crafter Square glitter glue sticks. And I showed you there my little green glue gun. That's a little glue gun I got from Michael's, and it was on clearance. So I don't mind putting different glue sticks into it, and it is a mini, so I couldn't use my SureBonder anyway because it uses the large glue sticks. So I thought originally that I was just going to do regular clear glue sticks and then paint. Use, you know, just an off-white paint and ivory. But I saw these fabric glue sticks at Hobby Lobby when I was there looking for glitter, and I decided to grab it. I do a lot of fabric crafting anyway, so if it didn't work, I would just use it for fabric crafting. But look, I used that just kind of random ornament and to work out the rest of the clear glue in my green glue gun. And then I put the white one in there and it worked. And I let it dry just to make sure it was going to dry with that whitish sheen to it. And sure enough, it did. So I'm going to take this, before I start hot gluing, I am going to, with my clear glue sticks in my regular SureBonder, I'm going to put some baker's twine in brown and white and wrap that, the edge or the hanger, and then I'm going to start with my fabric glue sticks in my little bitty mini glue gun. All right, the trick here, and you can see this is the fourth one I've done, so I did a lot of learning throughout the first three. This is a real learning process, was to work in small sections, because you know as a crafter that you can manipulate hot glue as long as it's hot, but once it cools off, it's done, and it is where it's going to be. So I worked in small sections and just used the tip of my glue gun to move things around and make sure that white glue was smooth. And then I would make another kind of drape of icing, so to speak, my hot glue, and then drape it back up and do another little drape. And in some cases, I would go over an already placed hot glue, the white fabric glue sticks, and I'd put another drape on top, so you can see it's kind of has some dimension to it. And so here comes the Mod Podge again, and drum roll, we're back. Here comes my glitter. You're going to see that a lot this season. I got that clear glitter. It's, let's see, it's called Crystal, and it was $8.99 for this humongous package. This is 14 ounces of crystal glitter. Of course, I got it half off, so I got it for $4.50. But that's going to last me probably till next Christmas, honestly. So I also got some black glitter, because I'm kind of, I really, my last Christmas video I did was a farmhouse Christmas, and I did all black and white farmhouse ornaments and crafts, and I loved it. And right now I'm wearing a buffalo check shirt, and you can see in this video I have a different buffalo check black and white shirt. That's kind of my thing right now. So I got some black glitter as well. Oh my goodness, there they are. Before I put them on the tree so you can see them, I had to put them in some lima beans. They're top heavy. They kept rolling over, so I cut up my lima beans. And there they are on the tree, and they are looking so glittery and shiny and delicious. What darling little chocolates those Christmas balls made. All the different molds. It looks like they've been molded in chocolate molds. I just love the way the fabric glue sticks look like icing, and then the glitter on top. Yum, yum, yum. That one was the one that was already glittered and I painted over. Still looks so good. All right, on to number 3. This is some Halloween decor. Of course, some of this is still out in the Dollar Tree right now. But I got this one, and it has 3 little mini jack-o'-lanterns on it. And so I'm going to use this one. I'm going to save him. There he goes. And I'm going to use this back to back as a peppermint, like a big peppermint. And we're going to wrap it in yarn. So there goes the little eyes and the mouth. Same thing. Bye-bye. And just in case the pumpkin showed through, I didn't want to take the tinsel off. I decided I wanted the body. I wanted the fullness. I'm using thick yarn, so I knew that it would cover, but just in case anything peeked through, I use this gloss apple barrel white acrylic paint from Walmart. And you know, gloss paint has a real tough sheen to it, and of course glossy sheen, but it is nice and solid. So it is, it's not very movable once it dries. When chalk paint dries, you can reactivate chalk paint with water, not gloss paint. Gloss paint is going to stick there, and it's going to be difficult to, so don't get it on your clothes. It's a lot harder to get out. So I just covered it. I didn't really need to do the back. I was just kind of getting the drips there, so it didn't take forever to dry. It did take a full day for these to dry because I was squirting it on pretty thick. Now you see, you can still see the orange, but once I put those two thick yarns on there, you're not going to see it anymore. And so I just wanted to contain that tinsel and not take it off. Normally I do take it off those cages, but I wanted a nice big round peppermint for the Ronald McDonald House in Orlando, Florida, where I will be sending my ornaments to Miss Natalie from Design to the Nines. And that address is in my description box below. So I just am going to hot glue those together, and my shear bonder did a fine job with that. And there we go. And the little stems, the green stems on each side, is going to be kind of like the wrapper. How, you know, a peppermint is wrapped. So this is a wrapped peppermint, and so you'll have the little bit of that off-white yarn peeking out and will look like part of the wrapper. And so I'm just going to, I've had that white chunky yarn for a long time, but now I did get the, what was it, Queen Bee? Yes, Queen Bee. Eternal Bliss Red is what this is called. I just see it. I got that on 30% off at Hobby Lobby, the mothership. And so I'm just going to cover up, and that's part of our little wrapper there. And tap, 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 and it covers that green beautifully. Can't see a bit of it. Nice and full. Love it. And I'm going to do this other side as well, of course. And then we are going to start on that red. Now, the red yarn is a little thicker. I got them at 2 different times, so they are not the same brand. They look similar, but the red is going to take over if I'm not careful. So I am, in some places, I have to put double the white, that ivory off-white yarn, to kind of balance out that nice thick red Queen Bee yarn. So tap, 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 and there's our first row of peppermint. And I'm putting down a little bit of parchment paper because I don't want the glue, if anything is still slightly warm, I didn't want it to stick to my paper that I peel up and throw out when I'm painting on this, on my crafting station. So the parchment paper will help with that. Now my biggest problem in this whole craft for the peppermint is patience, because my hot glue gun is a hot glue gun. It's very hot, and so it takes a few seconds for it to cool off and harden up. And so I have this sped up quite a bit, but you see I'm kind of putting a little extra of the white in there because I know on the little shoulders it's going to kind of ride up if I put my next red on there too soon. So I add just one little extra layer on either side to the peppermint before I go in with my second row of red. Just dab, dab, dab that in there, and you can see I have full coverage. The white paint, you know, maybe next time I'll leave the white paint step off, but I just felt better having it on there. Whoops, got my head in there a little bit. I guess I was standing up trying to get it straight with the reds, my 2 red stripes straight. And that yarn is a little, the edges, it doesn't fray, but it does. It looks, it will hold still with glue, but in a minute in my next craft, in my next ornament, you're going to see a kind of a rope that does fray horribly, and I'll show you how I kind of fend against that. But this yarn, it was pretty good about it, but it did leave little balls of red and white on my craft table, so I had to be careful and keep kind of sweeping that off into the trash can. So here we are on the shoulders again, needing a little bit extra white. I'm going to put one more row of red up next to the wrapper part. You see I've left it a little well, and just doing some trimming. And then here comes the last row of red. Goes in, and this is my only ornament that doesn't get glitter. Shocking. I use some red and white baker's twine. I wrap around one side of the wrapper end of my peppermint. There he is, just a couple more trims. And then to hang it from the tree, and you'll see that here when I show you, I took pictures of them outside. There we go. You can see the baker's twine that will hang from the tree. Looks so fluffy and yummy. And boy, does this one pop on the tree. It's a good size. You think those jack-o'-lanterns are real tiny compared to some of the other tinsel items, but it made a good size ornament. All right, I have one more peppermint. I couldn't resist this one. I was only going to do the 3, but here's the 4th. Here's our bonus ornament that I just couldn't stand it. I was again in Hobby Lobby, and they're putting out, boxes. My Hobby Lobby looks like, I don't know, they are really stocking right now. It's a mess. They have all kinds of boxes. The lady over in the fabric table told me that they were totally reworking their store layout for Christmas, and that they were in the middle of it, and that's why the boxes were all out. And it was something. So I'm going to go back next weekend after my week of school and see what they transformed it into. Now, take a look. I was in the Hobby Lobby. What I was talking about was I found these napkins. They were just kind of on top of a box. And I said, ooh, and they had they were all wrapped up, and they had a price, and they had a sticker. So I put them right into my buggy. I thought, oh, those rounds from the Walmart are going to be perfect. Now, you see there's writing on 2 of the panels. There's 4 little round panels in each napkin. These are 2-ply, so I had to take 1 ply off the back, but 2 of them have writing on them. They're, marketing or whatever. So I didn't want to use those. I only wanted to use the 2 that were just pepperminty cuteness. There's the 1-ply that I set aside to just use as a napkin. And here's my beautiful peppermint decoration side. The pretty, bright, cheery, red and white, delicious yumminess. I put that on both sides of my round from Walmart. Now, I got those wood rounds from the crafting section at Walmart, and they're $1. And there's a couple of wood pieces there at Walmart for $1, and this is one of them. And I think another one is a heart frame, and seems like there's a tag. Maybe that's $1. But these are just $1, so I had picked up several because these wood rounds come in handy a lot. And so here's where I'm going to fix this rope. I got this rope at Big Lots a long time ago, and I thought it would be nice for Christmas decorations. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the edge of my glue gun, and I've squirted a little bit of glue into the middle of that rope, and then I'm using my glue gun to just kind of comb it all together. And then once I know, because I know how fast it dries, once I know it's still a little bit warm, I just take my fingers and I pull it closed. And so that's how I'm going to keep this rope that really wants to fray. It's a lot of little pieces of thread all twisted together and braided. And speaking of the big twist, this is our final little hug around our peppermint, our little wrapper. And so I'm going to use that for the outer edge, and so it looks so pretty. And I'm going to just do a shoelace bow with our beautiful big twist yarn I got at Walmart. And that is just that off-white look. You see that the peppermint is not quite white. It's off-white because I didn't paint the wood. I put it straight onto the wood, and so it has a little off-white sheen, which is fine with me. That's what I decorate with mostly. And so I just love the ivory color, and I used a button on the other side. That's the back side. And of course the front side has to have a little glitter. Actually, I think I put glitter on both sides, to be honest with you. But we need a little sparkle there. Not only does it look soft and all warm from the wrapper yarn, now we have the glitter, and there it is outside. And here it is on the tree. Oh my goodness, they are so beautiful. And what a perfect size. They are just the thing. I'm going to use those rounds for some other decoupage. I just love decoupage. All right, here's our open playlist that Buffie put together from Buffie's Designs. I have linked her channel below as well. Thank you, Buffie, for corralling us all together here into this playlist. Please check out the playlist linked below. I want to say, let's take a final look at the ornaments. I'm going to be sending to Orlando. Check out those links in the address below. Luke 6:31 says, "And as you wish that others would do to you, do so to them." And from the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Those ornaments are just beautiful. We've got the green, we've got the red, we've got pink and yellow, and that yummy chocolatey brown. So beautiful. Matthew 25:40 says, "And the king will answer them, 'Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me.'" And there's our red cardinal. So beautiful at Christmas time. Thank you so much for watching today for our Ornaments with a Meaning video. Thank you so much for hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. I'm so thankful that you're here. And until next time, God bless you and your family.